I started using Neovim, and it completely changed the way that I write software. If you've never heard of Neovim before, it's a modernized fork of Vim, an advanced text editor from 1991. Vim lives entirely in the terminal and takes a unique approach to text editing. In a typical editor like Notepad, you move the cursor around by clicking or using the arrow keys. Then you just start typing wherever you are. But in Vim, you move your cursor around using a set of keybinds that come out of the box. For example, H and L move the cursor left and right, while J and K move the cursor down and up. Once you get to where you want to type, you first have to press I to go into insert mode. You start typing, and once you're done, you press escape to go back into normal mode, where you can now move your cursor around again. And there are a lot more ways to move around than that. For example, if you press W, you'll go forward one word, or if you press B, you'll go backwards one word. There are also actions that you combine with movements. For example, D is the delete action. So if I press D and W, I will delete one word. These keystrokes are called Vim motions, and there are a lot of them. That brief overview does not do them justice, but they are extremely powerful. The idea is that once you get these motions down, you'll be able to intuitively navigate and edit a text file at an extremely fast pace. The efficiency is one of the biggest upsides of using Vim. That, and you can get it anywhere. It comes pre-installed on macOS and most Linux distributions, and you can also get it pretty easily on Windows. But one of the biggest downsides is that it's kind of old, and as a result, it's pretty basic. It can't really compete with modern day advanced text editors like VS Code, for example. And that right there is where Neovim comes in. Like I said, it's a modernized fork of Vim. On their GitHub repo, they say that one of their main goals is to maximize extensibility, and they mean that. Out of the box, Neovim feels like a regular install of Vim, but under the hood, there's now a full infrastructure to configure Vim to do whatever you want it to. The main way to configure Vim is through plugins, and there's a massive community of developers making open source plugins for Neovim. There are nice little quality of life plugins, like MIDI pairs for example. It'll automatically make a closing bracket or a closing parentheses whenever you open one. Then there are plugins like Neotree, which will give you a nice visual of your project structure. And there's even plugins like Mason, which give you full LSP support for almost any programming language inside of Vim. That changes the game. Before you know it, you've got a full-fledged modern development environment inside of Vim. Now you could install these plugins yourself and configure them manually. I actually recommend that you do that to begin with. That's what I did. I followed the guides from Typecraft and I found them to be very helpful and beginner-friendly. But soon after I got that all set up, long story short, I meant to run this command and I ended up running this command and I didn't make any backups of my system like a dumbass and I lost my entire configuration. And once I got done reinstalling my operating system, I couldn't be asked to reconfigure Neovim. So instead, I rage installed LazyVim. LazyVim is what you would call a Neovim distribution. It comes out of the box, pre-configured with all those plugins ready to go. This means you jump right into a development environment and you can start writing code right away. But just because I installed a distribution doesn't mean I can't still customize Neovim the way that I want to. Here's a little trick I learned from the Primogen. If I press Ctrl U, my cursor goes up half a page. If I press Ctrl D, it will go down half a page. But the placement that the cursor ends up is a little bit jarring. It's not very predictable and it kind of messes me up. But if I press Z twice, my cursor will end up centered on screen. This is really nice, but I don't like having to press Z every time that I press Ctrl U. Well, luckily with one little line of code, I can remap Ctrl U to Ctrl U ZZ. I can do the same thing with Ctrl D as well. Now whenever I press Ctrl U or Ctrl D, my cursor will automatically center itself. I don't have to think about it. I can also write my own plugins. I do a lot of work in Java, making Minecraft mods and server plugins. If you're a returning viewer, you know this. Well, I got used to relying on the Minecraft plugin in IntelliJ to get my project started. It would automatically configure my build tasks and my dependencies the way that I needed. But as far as I'm aware, there's not a Neovim equivalent to this plugin. So I had to take it into my own hands. If I open an empty directory and type paper in it, a blank paperMC plugin will be created. Now I'll admit, this is super basic. I'm not really sure that I can call this a plugin. You see, all Neovim configurations and plugins are written in Lua, and I've never really worked with Lua before. I'm still learning. So for right now, all this plugin does is copy a template project from my home directory into the current working directory. But I'm getting better and better every day, and I know there's 1,000 things that I could do to make this better. For now, it gets the job done, and it's just super cool. Like the idea that I have a tool in my IDE that I made for me, I put it there. I love that. I love that level of configurability. Now I fell in love with the idea of customizing everything after I got really into hyperlands, which is a topic for another video. But for now, I really hope you enjoyed what you saw here. If you did, feel free to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the Discord server I have for this community. Hang out with some nerds like me. As always, thank you to my 2 channel members, Brent and Captain Derp. I appreciate you guys supporting my work. Well, that's all I've got for now. Till next time, deuces.